State of Colorado is one of those that has done voting by mail for a long time. And again, that's very different than absentee ballots. That's a whole different discussion. There's been an awful lot of talk, though, about the Postal Service, and one elected official responsible for elections in Colorado is going to take some action to make sure there won't be a problem with the vote in that state. This sounds political.
That's right. It certainly does sound political. And there have already been individuals that have brought lawsuits claiming that if the Postal Service dials back the availability of being able to send and receive mail between now and the election, it's going to hamper their ability to vote on time. And nobody wants to risk their lives and their health and their livelihood by going to a polling place if they can just do it by mail. But they also want to make sure that their votes get counted. So there's been a couple of lawsuits filed, and certainly a greater number threatened to be filed. And what has that done? That's actually made the Postal Service and the head dial it back and say, okay, we are not going to implement any of the measures that we were previously considering until after the election. So a little bit of pressure. But, it's a win-win. It's not that far away. They can still take whatever budgetary measures they need to take after November.
And again, the Postmaster General said that the steps that were being taken for efficiency, et cetera, moving or removing drop boxes, et cetera, that was a plan in place, he said, before he took over, and immediately said, let's just put a freeze on all of this. I suppose, though, from the elected official standpoint, forget the partisanship, which is a big part of it, but by filing the lawsuit, what you're doing is saying to the voters of your state, I'm standing up for integrity and doing whatever I need to do to make sure your vote counts. That's not bad for an elected official either.
No, it's not. And Jeff, the tricky part of what you just laid out, which is accurate, is that some of those measures have already been implemented. So they're actually trying to figure out now, how do we put back some of what we took away, because now we're going to wait and sort of put this whole project on hold until after November. So it's not as easy as just saying we're not going to go forward anymore with any kind of budget saving measures, whether it's taking away postal services or drop boxes or these kinds of things. But if we already did it, how are we going to put that back in action? So it's a huge issue right now. And, thankfully they actually are, like you say, public officials are saying, look, we just want people to have access to the ballot box in a timely fashion. And it's hard to argue with that.